Hey guys, thanks for tuning into the channel today. I'm really excited to get into today's video where I'm going to be sharing with you 5 of the best tried and tested methods that you can use to save money and get well on your way to achieving your financial goals in 2021 and beyond. I've personally used these techniques to save over £20,000 in the last year alone, so I'm going to be giving you a little bit of detail about each one and how you can implement them all into your own lives and start achieving similar results for yourself. We are at the beginning of a brand new year right now, so it's a great time for you to get into the habit of saving, and in just 12 short months you could be sitting on a really healthy looking bank balance, which can open up the door to some great investment opportunities for you. What I'm going to be sharing with you is super easy to put into practice, and if you can follow just one of these techniques consistently, by the end of this year, you'll be in great shape financially. We're about to get started here, but if you could help me out really quickly by just tapping the like button, it only takes a couple of seconds to do. It helps me out tremendously and it helps the channel to grow and reach more people too. Thank you so much, and without further ado, let's get into today's video. So the first thing that I'm going to mention here is the concept of paying yourself first. This is where you would take a set amount or a set percentage of your salary every single month and pay that money away to a separate bank account as preferably the first or one of the very first things that happens when you get paid, and then that money is just gone and in your mind it was never even there to begin with. For me personally, I've set up a separate bank account with an entirely separate bank from my normal bank account, and I transfer that money there. It's literally the first thing that leaves my account when I get paid, and I don't have online banking for that account. I don't have a debit card for that account. If I want to access the money in that account, I've got to physically go into the bank and talk to somebody and withdraw money that way, which makes it really difficult for me to do, and therefore I'm a lot less likely to touch it. It's really important to automate this process, so the very best tip that I can give you here is to just set up a standing order every single month that automatically takes the money you want to save from your personal bank account into your savings account, and that just happens automatically. You don't need to do anything. It's a super easy process to set up, and it will really help you in the long term to save some money. The next thing that I'm going to mention here may sound really obvious, but it's so often overlooked, and that is creating a budget. This is by far and away the easiest way for you to identify exactly where every single penny of yours is going on a monthly basis, and I'm sure you'll find some easy win savings in there along the way. For example, there may be things that come out of your account every month that's just a really small amount that you wouldn't really notice if you were just looking at your balance. But when you put it down on a budget and see it all written in front of you like that, it's so easy to identify these little things that just aren't necessary for you to spend money on anymore. One of the biggest benefits that I personally found in creating a budget was setting myself an amount of money every single month that I was free to spend on whatever I wanted to. Before I created a budget, I was really just going out spending money with no regard for my savings or where I was trying to get to in terms of financial goals. So now that I have an amount set every single month that I'm okay to spend, if I find something I want and it's within that budget, fine, I'll go ahead and buy it if I want to. But if it's not in that budget, I just don't do it anymore, and that really leaves me in a much better position at the end of every single month. This leads in really nicely with my third point, which is to use a separate account to pay for all of your usual monthly expenses. Now, ideally, the best way to do this is to pay for those expenses on a credit card, so that not only do you rack up the credit card points that you'll get from whichever service provider you choose to use and get your credit card from, but you'll also build up a really healthy credit score as long as you pay off your balance in full every single month. If you're worried about overspending using a credit card, the best tip that I can give you is just to phone up your credit card provider and ask them to lower your credit limit in line with the monthly budget that you've set yourself. This is really simple to do, it doesn't take much time at all, and it will just get rid of any risk of you overspending on that card. Alternatively, if you really don't want to use a credit card, then the other way of doing this is just to use a separate bank account, transfer your budgeted amount into that account every single month and spend using that account. Now, you can use any type of account for this, but personally I would just recommend using one that's got a really good mobile app where you can just keep track of things anytime you want. Just look at your smartphone and see where you are at any time of the day. Now, the fourth point that I'm going to mention here is to just make sure that you don't become a victim of lifestyle inflation. It's so easy, anytime you get a pay rise, a bonus, birthday or Christmas money from friends and family, just to use that money and spend it on whatever you want, and then before you know it, it's gone and you've really got nothing of value to show for it. But the very best thing that you can do with that money is just to transfer it straight into your savings account as soon as you get it. Now, I get that this is going to take a little bit of willpower to do, and it might be easier said than done, but you'll really notice the benefits from it if you choose to follow this step. If you don't want to commit to that completely, maybe just consider sending 80% of the money into savings and spending the remaining 20% on yourself. That way you'll still get to benefit a little bit in the short term, but you'll also get the benefit of those longer term savings. Now, it's fairly well known that when people earn more, they do tend to spend more money as well. but it really doesn't have to be that way. And if you can take control of it from the outset at the very beginning, you can just transfer that money into your savings, you'll pocket the difference, you won't even notice a difference in your lifestyle because it will remain constant and you'll really benefit in the longer term. The final point that I'm going to mention here is to implement some rules around impulse buying. This title can be a little bit confusing, so let me explain. Whenever you feel the urge to impulse buy something that you really want but you don't necessarily need, the best tip that I can give you is to wait between 24 and 48 hours to just think about whether you really need to buy that thing. And in my personal experience, half of the time you'll find that you really don't want it after that amount of time anyway. Whenever that happens, you've got a great opportunity to take the money that you would have spent on that thing and transfer it straight into your savings account as if you'd spent it on the item that you wanted. Whenever you're thinking about impulse buying something, you tend to feel pretty happy, and those feelings are linked to the thought of buying it rather than the actual process of doing so. So by taking this cool off period and thinking about it a little bit more, you'll really get the benefit of those happy feelings for a little bit longer, but you'll also get to pocket the money that you would have spent anyway and add that into your longer term savings, which is going to help you tremendously in the long run. So there you have it. Those are the 5 methods that you can use this year to start working towards your financial goals and really get into a great position financially by the end of this year. When it comes to managing your money, it's always a good idea to build up an emergency fund with at least 6 months worth of your expenses saved up, just in case you should ever need it. Once you've built up that emergency fund, you're all set to start looking at some investment opportunities to help maximise the returns on your hard-earned money. I'll share another video on the channel soon of some of the investment opportunities that are available to you, so if that's something you're interested in seeing, please go ahead and subscribe. If you liked today's video, please be sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more videos. It helps me out tremendously and it helps the channel to grow and reach more people too. I post a brand new video here every single week, so if you want to be among the first to be notified when a new video drops, go ahead and hit the notification bell and YouTube's going to take care of the rest. Please also comment down below and let me know what you thought of today's video. I'd really love to hear your feedback and I'll reply to as many comments as I can. Thanks so much for watching, have an amazing day, and I'll see you back here next time.